Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Drop Balls and Big Calls. Now, forgive me, I've been quite sick this week. So if the voice is sounding a bit off or anything like that, it's a nasty virus that I've had. But yeah, I've been doing a bit of reflecting since the last episode with Boris struck. Um, Many of you already know, if you've listened to episode 0, that my best friend or my brother growing up had Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And, there's been many times over the last, uh, well, throughout my life really, where, you sit there and I'm feeling, stuck and lost and wondering what to do. And just in plenty of those moments, I'll think about what would Kev have done in these moments. Kev was extremely intelligent, very, very curious, very thoughtful, and a very deep thinker. And he always had a different way of looking at things. And, he lived life more fully than a lot of people do with, a full bill of health. So anyway, I really wanted to spend this episode just sharing with you the last blog he wrote. I thought, it gave so much depth and gave, it gives everyone a lot to think about. A perspective on living with a disability, perspective on that inner dialogue, and just how to look at the world a bit differently. When I've gotten to really tight spots in my life, this is a blog that I like to come back to and just get some perspective. It's like he's still trying to guide me even in the afterlife. But I wanted to share this one with you today because I think it'll really ring home for a lot of people, and I hope you get something from it. I'll share. He wrote 4 blogs late in his life, and I'll share the link with you. And I hope you do take the time to read it. They're really special, and I think there's something in it for everyone. But this blog is titled "Choices to be Made, So Choose." I had almost finished this post when I suddenly realized it was all wrong and it needed to be scrapped. Things have been changing for me rapidly over the time I've been writing this blog. I've been extremely focused on really getting to grips with myself. I had managed to drag myself out of a fairly deep hole. Looking forward, I have to find a way of staying one or more steps ahead of my demons. Self-hate, doubt, and hopelessness have an uncanny way of creeping up on you when least expected. I have realized that those negative thoughts only come from one place, my mind. Sure, I have faced a lot of ignorance and prejudice, but I'm the one who has a massive problem with indifference and apathy. What role do I play in my getting in such a bad state of mind? How do I prevent myself from becoming so isolated and depressed again? What do I need to do in order to put myself in a position to achieve what I want? I have started to examine just how I tick to see what is going on in my subconscious. One of the best things I've done for myself is to take the initiative and go to a counsellor. In my opinion, everyone should have an objective person from outside their inner circle to keep them honest about themselves. I was lucky enough to get a counsellor who had no experience with persons with a disability. This was good because I imagine a counsellor specialising in disability would have been overinterested in my DMD. After all, I'm a normal man. My DMD only affects the muscles of my body. My intellect and spirit are that of a normal man. My counsellor is truly brilliant. He seems to be one hell of a man as well. It is very important to me that this is the case. I doubt I'd listen to the opinions of an arsehole. The most important thing about seeing a counsellor and the like is to be honest and painfully so. Everyone is different, but if you haven't lost it emotionally in a counselling session, you need to go deeper into your mind. There are some messed up things in there for sure. If you're really thinking critically and honestly, it should hurt at times. For me at least, it damn well has. My counsellor sees me as a full man, someone who is a man first, and actually, I've never heard him refer to me as disabled. Wow, that's cool. At the start, the main thing coming up in the session was my desire for and fear of romantic relationships. My insecurities were running my life. He has tried tirelessly to build up some self-respect in me. Cheers, mate. The counselling hasn't involved a lot of self-discovery. With the relationship issue and everything else, I must appraise my role in it and take responsibility. So my role, I wasted a hell of a lot of time blaming others for my imagined undesirability. I had an endless supply of why I shouldn't, justifications for not even trying to date or have a relationship. I thought the world would implode if I were turned down. Everyone gets turned down sometimes. Big deal. Nevertheless, that is what I did to myself for years. Effectively, I disabled myself. I told myself things like, I'm not good enough. I'm not man enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not a whole person. Women hate me. They think I'm ugly. They think I'm useless. It would seem I lack list of horribleness. So what will I do from now on? Well, first of all, I will tell myself the exact opposite of all that nonsense. That starts now. I'm good enough. I'm a decent man. I'm a whole person. I am of value and worth. My DMD is not a personal failing. Relationships, work, study, or whatever, the problem seems to have the same root cause. It has become increasingly clear that the stumbling blocks I face are of my own creation, for the most part. Though the focus of my counselling and blog has been predominantly around relationships, it's on a deeper level about working out just who the hell I am anyway. I have long been reluctant to describe myself. To me, that is a reflection of being unsure who I was and of an expectation that whomever I was, that person was certainly not acceptable. I've written extensively about the problems of my life, like I'm the only one, right? Here is some progress. I have never worked before. I do now. I've been doing a few hours here and there at the camping ground my family operate. I'm no expert with computers or software, but I have no difficulties with simple things like data entry and other basic tasks. That represents a diametric shift in my attitude towards working. Usually my thoughts of work would have been drowned out by my insecurities. Small steps for now. I'll get there. I have decided to take a paper on counselling to see how well I like it. All going well, I'll continue to study toward becoming a counsellor professionally. I figured the readers deserve some good news for sticking it out during the sad stuff. I have found a drive that I have never had before. It feels great. I watched a movie recently that had a part in it where Michael Caine is reciting a poem by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. It resonated with me deeply, especially the line I quoted, rage. Rage against the dying of the light. That line conveys exactly my current attitude towards my life. I'm raging against my own mortality, raging against my own indifference, raging against isolation, raging against my efforts to sabotage my own happiness. I have made the choice to live in abundance and fully. I'll end with a bit of a mission statement. I know that in the end, my DMD wins the day. Complications from it will one day take my life. I'm here to tell you it is going to have to do that against my will. I'm going to fight the bastard all the way down. I'll leave this world kicking and screaming. If this is a fight to the death, I will not go gentle into that good night, and I'll rage against the dying of the light. Until next time, peace and love to you, Kevin J. It just shows remarkable accountability. Kev had all the reasons to, question why everything was done to him, why he was put here with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, why life had dealt him a hard hand. But the ability to be, introspective and take accountability for yourself and your actions and the way that you speak to yourself, it changes everything. I hope Kevin's blog helps you in some way. I think that blog is a really great showcase for what accountability looks like and taking control of your life, no matter what cards you've been dealt. I'll put the link in the comments for you. But thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and we'll catch you next time.